Hello, my name is Rachel Morrow, and today I will be presenting my action research project titled How to Improve ACAP Scores in Math from 2024 to 2025. In this presentation, I will share my original data and the identified problem, summarize the background research outlined by my action plan, explain ethical considerations, and present results and reflect on the process. The problem identified in my educational setting is that our school as a whole, ACAP scores were lower in math than they were in reading. This issue became evident through data that we collected over the two academic years. So from 2023 to 2024, our math scores were considerably lower than our reading scores. And then in 2024 to 2025, they grew. So I am going to share with you the specifics on that now. So from just the second graders, this is the teacher data because second grade is a baseline. So with that being said, in 2024, we had 22% of children making a level one, and in 2025, we only had 16%. And on level twos, we had 58% in 2024, and then 37% in 2025. And in 2024, we only had 20% make threes and fours, and in 2025, we had 47%, so almost at that 50% mark, and the growth rate was 135%. The growth from the second graders in 2024 to the second graders, I meant the third graders in 2025, so they grew tremendously. In 2024, it was 22%. In 2025, for level ones, it was 1%. In 2024, it was 58% on level two. And in 2025, it was 49%. And in level threes and fours, in 2024, it was 20% threes and fours, and in 2025, it was 39%, and that grew, had a growth rate of 95%. And growth from 2024's third graders to 2025's fourth grade. In 2024, the level ones was 27%, and the level ones in 2025 was 12%. In 2024, the level twos was 33%, and the level twos in 2025 were 38%. In 2024, the level of threes and fours were at 39%. And then from third to fourth grade, they hit that beautiful 50% number in 2025 in math and grew a total of 28%. So it was amazing to see that growth. And then from fourth to fifth grade, this is where the data kind of actually it goes down 1%, but it still shows that it did grow. It was just not as much growth as we wanted from the 2024 fourth graders to the 2025 fifth graders. So level ones was 7% in 2024, and it went down to 5% in 2025. Then in level twos, it was 33%, and they went up to 39%. And then in level threes and fours, there was 60% in 2024, and it went down 1% to 59% in 2025. And this was our doozy. From fifth grade in 2024 to sixth grade in 2025. The level one was at 20% in 2024, and it went down to 14%. The level twos were at 46% in 2024, and it went up to 56% in 2025. And then level threes and fours. Level threes and fours were at 34% in 2024, and they went down 4 points to 30% in 2025, which overall made a negative growth of 12%. With this data, I realized that it was based on the teachers that would put in the effort and follow the plan that was given to implement it. So through my review of the literature, I discovered several studies that indicated that we spend more time on reading instruction than we do in math, and that we needed to incorporate more hands-on math learning stations. And so these provided me a way to make an action plan, and our school adopted the acronym MATH, and when we used it, it was multisensory teaching for M. A was at your desk, independent instruction. T was technology, and H was hands-on. So we implemented all of those things. Well, the teachers that did showed amazing growth. The teachers that did not buy into it did not show the growth. My action plan aimed to address the identified problem through a research-based intervention. Like we had used this. The key elements include sampling, instrumentation, collaboration, procedures, and ensuring internal and external validity. I, of course, used our data from 2024's ACAP scores till 2025 ACAP scores, and it was through grade levels 2nd through 6th. The group represented a range of abilities and demographic backgrounds, providing a realistic view of classroom diversity. The primary instrument used to gather data included the ACAP scores, and these two tools allowed for both quantitative and qualitative measurements of student achievement and engagement. To implement this plan, I collaborated with my principal and grade level teachers. Their support helped ensure the plan was feasible, inclusive, and aligned with school goals. The procedures included having meetings to know what plan we were going to implement, then going through the process of changing how we taught math and the times we taught math and how we taught it with the multisensory, the independent at your seat work, the technology, and the hands-on components. We also included a teacher time where they would be with the teacher. And so teacher table was also used sometimes in the place of the T, and not always technology. If this plan were to be formally implemented, several ethical considerations would need to be addressed. Confidentiality, which the student's data would be made, anonymized, like we wouldn't know the student's name, which we didn't use it when we did it. Special populations accommodations would be provided for students with IEPs and ELL students. IRB approval from the institution review board would be required before conducting research involving students, and parent consent and student assent would be attained. The implementation of this action plan resulted in improved test scores, and we saw that the people that did not buy into it had decreased test scores. These results suggest a positive impact on student achievement. To demonstrate growth, I would expect to see, we expected to see a gain to make it to at least, 50%, and directly tied to the interventions. Reflecting on this process, one change I would make to the original plan is to make it mandatory for all grade levels to get on board with this. Additionally, I would consider gathering more data from, individual student data and break down the data from the ACAP scores to gain deeper insights. To build on this work, future research could explore, how, what classifications, what children perform higher or lower, and what we could do for those to target those and also improve their ACAP math scores. Thank you for watching my presentation. I welcome any feedback or questions. You can reach me at rmorrow@elbaed.com. Thank you again.